Perhaps there are no words that can truly capture the pain of saying goodbye to someone you love. After they're gone, the warm room once filled with familiar laughter suddenly turns cold, and every little corner is left with nothing but silence and memories. The chair they once sat in remains, but the warmth of their gaze and the sound of their laughter are gone. Sometimes in the quiet of the night, you suddenly realize no one will be waiting on the other side of that door anymore. An untouched cup of tea, a story left untold, an embrace that will never be complete. All that's left are fragments of remembrance. In that emptiness, you wonder, where are they now? Have they truly gone? Or are they still watching over you from somewhere so close you just can't reach them? Do they know you still haven't gotten used to living with this separation? Ecclesiastes once wrote, "The dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." But between these two worlds, what truly happens to the soul? If you're also carrying an unending longing in your heart, let the eye of wisdom walk beside you on this journey to find answers to questions that have never been spoken. Relax your soul, and let's step together into this mysterious, warm space filled with love. Wonderful things are waiting for you at the end of this path. The question of what the dead are doing right now has sparked wonder and debate across cultures and centuries. For some, the moment a loved one passes marks the beginning of a new journey, a realm where pain is eased and the soul continues in another form. For others, doubt lingers. Do souls truly exist? If so, where are they? What are they doing? Or is this just a comforting idea we hold on to ease our own hearts? Amid these questions, three major perspectives have shaped how humanity seeks to understand what comes after death. First, the teachings of the Bible, offering promises of resurrection and eternal life. Second, the lens of modern spiritual studies, exploring the soul's journey, healing, and even reincarnation. And finally, the countless stories of near-death experiences, first-hand accounts from those who have crossed the threshold and returned with remarkable tales. On this journey, I invite you to explore each perspective with an open mind and heart. Together, we'll seek understanding, not just answers, looking at the afterlife from every angle with honesty, curiosity, and compassion. Throughout history, humanity has searched for answers to the greatest mystery of all: what happens after we die? Across cultures and generations, three major perspectives have emerged, each offering a different lens through which to glimpse the afterlife. The biblical perspective. For millions, the teachings of the Bible provide both comfort and guidance in facing the unknown. Some passages describe the soul as sleeping, resting peacefully and awaiting a future day of resurrection and final judgment. This view can be found in verses like Daniel 12, verse 2, "Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake, some to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt." In other scriptures, the soul is seen as remaining conscious, existing in a spiritual realm, separated from the body, yet aware, awaiting reunion with the divine. The Bible's messages, though sometimes open to interpretation, offer hope for an ultimate restoration, and for many, this hope brings peace in the face of loss. The lens of modern spirituality. Modern spiritual thinkers and researchers suggest that the soul's journey does not end at the moment of death. Instead, they describe an ongoing process of learning, healing, and self-discovery beyond this physical existence. According to spiritual traditions and accounts from figures like Edgar Cayce, the soul reconnects with its soul group, other spirits with whom it shares deep bonds, reviewing past lessons, healing unresolved pain, and preparing for possible reincarnation or higher states of being. This perspective emphasizes growth, transformation, and the continuing evolution of the soul, reflecting a belief that love and consciousness do not end, but instead expand in new realms. Near-death experiences and personal testimonies. Perhaps the most vivid and immediate accounts come from those who have faced death and returned, bringing stories of light, peace, and overwhelming love. Near-death experiences, NDEs, often include life reviews, in which every action, word, and feeling is relived, not with judgment, but with profound understanding. Many describe encountering deceased loved ones, traveling through tunnels of light, or feeling an indescribable sense of unconditional acceptance. While some skeptics search for scientific explanations, the sheer number and consistency of these testimonies cannot be ignored. Each of these perspectives offers its own strengths, answers shaped by faith, by personal experience, or by a deep need to find meaning in the face of the unknown. Together, they reveal a universal longing to know that love endures, that life matters, and that the journey continues. The presence that lingers when you still feel your loved one. Not long after my grandfather passed away, my mother began to sense his presence in subtle yet undeniable ways. Some evenings, as she sat alone in the living room, the same place where he once told stories, she would feel a gentle warmth beside her. The air seemed to change, and sometimes the scent of pipe tobacco would linger, even though no one in the family smoked. These moments often came in the quietest hours, when grief felt sharpest. She would close her eyes, whispering words to the silence, and sometimes a calm would settle, softening the ache of loss. Stories like hers echo across cultures and generations. Some call these grief hallucinations, but others believe they're signs of a soul's enduring love, a connection that doesn't end with physical death. Regardless of the explanation, these encounters offer healing. They remind us that the bonds of love are not easily severed, and that perhaps, in ways we don't yet understand, our loved ones remain near, offering comfort through the silence. The soul's journey, healing, learning, and the possibility of rebirth with scientific perspective. Beyond physical death, many spiritual traditions and a growing number of scientific thinkers describe the soul's journey as a process of deep transformation. The afterlife, in this view, is not a final destination, but a realm for ongoing growth, healing, and review. Intriguingly, some modern scientists like Sir Roger Penrose and Dr. Stuart Hameroff have proposed the Orkor theory, that consciousness may emerge from quantum processes within the brain's microtubules. This idea opens the door to questions about whether consciousness could survive the death of the body, perhaps persisting as an independent phenomenon. Imagine a soul arriving in a space of gentle light in the welcoming presence of its soul group, other spirits with whom it shares deep bonds. Here the soul looks back on its recent life, not with shame, but with understanding and compassion. Every joy and regret becomes part of a tapestry woven from many lifetimes. There is so harsh judgment, only opportunities for learning and healing. Once these lessons are integrated, the soul might choose to return, seeking deeper growth and greater wisdom in a new life. Blending spiritual insight with scientific curiosity, we're invited to approach life and consciousness as mysteries worth honoring, encouraging us to live purposefully and to cherish every moment of awareness as a part of a much greater story. Visions and dreams, the spiritual ties that endure. Religious perspective. A friend once told me how, after her mother's passing, she longed for just one more conversation. Then, one night, she dreamed of her mother, radiant and peaceful, standing at the foot of her bed, saying, "I am safe. I am with God. You are not alone." The Bible is rich with stories of dreams and visions as bridges between worlds. Jacob dreamed of a ladder to heaven. Joseph received guidance in his sleep. Ecclesiastes reminds us, "The spirit returns to God who gave it." For many, these spiritual traditions invite us to trust that our loved ones are not lost, but held within a love that surpasses death. Such dreams, sudden feelings of peace or unexplainable comfort amid sorrow, become gentle reminders that faith and memory keep us connected. Even if skeptics interpret these as the mind's way of coping with loss, for those who experience them, the comfort and sense of connection are real, and perhaps that, in itself, is a quiet kind of miracle. That the work of souls guiding, healing, creating, and the science of connection. Now, many spiritual philosophies suggest that souls do not simply rest, but take on new roles in the realms beyond. Some become helpers, guides, or teachers, supporting the living and other souls in transition. Interestingly, quantum physics offers a metaphor for these bonds. The phenomenon of quantum entanglement shows that two particles once connected remain linked regardless of distance, an invisible tie that transcends space. Perhaps the love between souls works in a similar way. The connections we forge in life create a kind of spiritual entanglement, a bond that can't be broken, even by death. Some souls, it is said, choose to watch over those they loved, sending subtle nudges of hope, creativity, or comfort. Others continue to learn, to heal, and to create, forming communities of spirit. Through this invisible web, the work of souls continues, reminding us that we are never truly alone, and that the ripples of love and healing move through both worlds.
If there's one thing we learn from exploring these stories and perspectives, it's that no single answer can speak for everyone. Our beliefs about what happens after death are shaped by our upbringing, our culture, our faith, and the unique experiences that touch our lives. For some, comfort comes from ancient scriptures and the hope of reunion promised by faith. For others, healing begins with personal encounters, a dream, a sign, or quiet presence in the night. And still, there are those who find meaning through the language of modern spirituality or the vivid revelations of near-death experiences. None of these paths hold a monopoly on truth. Instead, each one is a window, a way to glimpse the vastness of what might exist beyond this life. The value of these perspectives lies not in their ability to offer certainty, but in their capacity to comfort, to inspire, and to help us make sense of the mystery we all face. You don't have to choose just one explanation or silence your doubts to find meaning. Maybe your journey weaves together the teachings of faith, the discoveries of science, and the quiet whispers of your own heart. Or maybe your beliefs are still forming, shaped by each new story you encounter. What matters most is the openness to wonder, to listen, and to let your own experience guide you. In a world of many voices, allow yourself the space to be curious, to reflect, and to find the truth that brings you peace, knowing that your search is itself a sacred journey.
The content in this video is a thoughtful synthesis of many sources, including personal stories, religious teachings, and insights from modern spiritual research. It is meant to offer comfort, reflection, and inspiration, but it is not intended as religious, scientific, or medical advice. Everyone's journey with loss, faith, and the afterlife is unique. We encourage you to explore these perspectives with an open mind and to embrace only what feels meaningful and helpful to you. Please respect your own beliefs and the diverse experiences of others, as we all seek understanding and healing in our own way. In the end, life and death are not opposites. They are chapters in a much larger story. Whether you believe the soul journeys onward, rests in gentle sleep, or remains close in spirit, one truth endures. Love never truly dies. The connections we build, the kindness we share, and the healing we offer are threads that bind us across time, distance, and even worlds. If you feel comfortable, please share a small, beautiful memory of someone you love in the comments below. Or perhaps share a sign you believe they sent you. A song on the radio, a dream, a feeling that arrives out of nowhere. Let this comment section become a living testament to the love that never fades. Your story might be the light someone else needs to see today. If this message touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and join us for more journeys into the mysteries of the soul. Together we can create a community of hope, remembrance, and healing. One story, one heart at a time. Thank you for being here, and for allowing the eye of wisdom to walk this path with you.